Hello, fantastic researchers. We're now at Module 4, Search Strategies, the part about keywords, phrase searching, truncation, wildcards. It's sometimes used in the same Boolean logic. There's actually more than this, but these should be able to get you most places you need. And when you move on to a university, if you see a library instruction research class, take it, and they will go into more detail. But these will get you through the next 2 years, and in some cases, all the way to your dissertation. So, what am I talking about now? Because we've been doing keywords every single week. Keywords, keywords, keywords. Have you been thinking that in your head? Like, why is she doing this to us? The reason is the keys to the castle. The keys to the castle. As soon as you crack the keywords, because remember they change. Sometimes cross-disciplinary, different disciplines use different words or phrases for the same thing. Sometimes they change. Sometimes they get a little bit more current, and they have a little bit more of an, how do you say, an urban dictionary edge to them that you may be using, as well as the sophisticated professional words. Also, words change over time, decades. Something that was a crisis one year will be called a war the next. So make sure you have all of these pieces ready to roll. And I'm not kidding. When I put things together and I'm doing my research, I have a whole page of keywords. In a way, I'm going to show you how I break them down, but you do you, because this is important and I want you to be able to incorporate it into your practices. We're going to be talking about truncation, phrase searching, and Boolean searching. And in a way, we've seen how those are used, but on this weekly thing, you're going to actually construct 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, I can't remember, we'll see. You're going to take the keywords you have and change them into different forms. So, one of the biggest ways we find keywords, and we've been talking about this as we go along, find the synonyms and the antonyms. Because sometimes the thing that it doesn't mean also talks about your thing. Like, something may be anti-something, and something may be simply the root word. So, what is alike and what is the opposite? Identify the searchable parts of your research question. Please make sure you have a complete sentence that is a research question in this assignment. Brainstorm all around it. The brainstorm part is really, really important. The who, the what, the when, the how, which we also are going to use for evaluation, but like right now, did you hear that beep beep? That's something I do all day. Mostly I'm helping students trying to find keywords. This person came in with the word child and the impact of the internet on a child. Well, what is a child? A child's an adolescent, kids, teenagers, all those words. Now, what is impact? Is it negative? Is it positive? Is it something like cyberbullying? I actually found an article that was about what kids used to do before there was the internet, which is also an interesting way to look at it backwards and forward. And how can you solve the issue with children having healthy internet habits? So there's all these different ways to look at your word, to kind of break it down, to look at your terms and think about it going forward, who's concerned about it, what it actually is, and the when part. Did it have some sort of meaning now that it didn't have in the past? Has something changed about it that might be useful? Will that term be useful? And how? Like, how are we going to change it? How are we going to make it better? How are we going to address it? How are we going to find it? Those will all turn up terms that you could use in your search when doing, of course, your research. Now, acronyms. These, break them apart. Use them together, break them apart, and use alternate words. If you see something like ACA, yes, you can search the ACA, but you're not going to find everything. Is the Affordable Care Act? Yes, you can just search the Affordable Care Act, and you're not going to find everything, because you know what else is called? Obamacare. It's not the real name, but people use it, and that's how they write about it sometimes. So look at your acronyms, break them down, see if they have other ways of looking at them, and pull those pieces apart. Affordable Care Act, that's about health care. Find the pieces of the thing and also do research on that. So I have a keyword worksheet here, and this is really not unlike what I'm doing, but we'll see more like what I do later on. But I will actually put down the words and try to come up with other words. I'll have a brainstorm thing, just like I did with who, what, when, how. I'll look for acronyms that have to do with the people involved. I'll start looking at different ways to look at the words, what these words mean in different places. I'll be pulling these from internet searches while I'm doing searches. I'll find it in keywords in other places. I will just keep looking until it is exhausted. Well, maybe I'm exhausted. But keyword identification is an ongoing process. It's a part of research. In fact, once you find some new keywords, you may have to start your search over again. Go, oh, I wonder if there's a ProQuest article about that. Or, oh, I really need to run this through opposing viewpoints to see if I've missed something. And this is what when you're seeing your search results, most of them have subjects. This is something from EBSCO. ProQuest has this too. I take all these words, every single one of these words that have to do with what I'm working on, and I save them on a page that I keep working on. And I usually do have one whole page. Additionally, when you go into an article, there's sometimes that subsequent page that has words on it, like author supplied and subject terms. I take all these words. The value of the author supplied keywords is that the journal here, Review of Policy Research, may use these subject terms and has the author attach that article to it, but the author knows there's trendier words, there's more current words, and there's words people use while trying to find their article, so they'll put those in too. Take advantage of those, because all of that has a great deal of value. Now that you have all these words, some of these words are phrases, and you want to search them as phrases. How do you fix that? You put quotations around them. So go through this. You'll see how I took part of my keywords, and I went ahead and turned them into phrase searching. That's going to increase my focus on my topic. I'm not going to have airplane over there and travel in a different place. I'm going to have them together. Here, I want you to review this piece on truncation. It's only 2 minutes long. I'll fastly explain it here. You're going to use something called a wildcard. It's, in this case, a asterisk. So if I put this in the right place on aeronautic, I will get aeronautical, aeronautics, and I don't have to search it 3 different times. Here we have climatology, tologists, Logical is also one. I could do this, put the asterisk in that space, and I'll get the subsequent suffixes. So if I was doing child and children, I put child with the asterisk at the end, and I could search child and children at the same time. This is one of the most marvelous things you could ever use in a search, by the way. It really changes up so many things. And finally, I'm going to want you to take the keywords that you have and put them in a Boolean logic type order. Please review this. I think it is definitely less than 5 minutes, and it'll be helpful. No matter, I want you to hear different points of view and see it in different ways, but this is my demonstration. And, or not. And is when you have things that are together that overlap. Like if you look at the Zen diagram in the About section, that little piece where they overlap, that's the information you'll get when you use and. Or is a great thing to use for synonyms. Suppose you have a word that means a bunch of things the same way, airplane, airport, and so on. You go airplane or airport, and it searches them together. You don't have to go back and forth on your search. And suppose while you're working on aviation, you have all sorts of things coming up that are not useful to you. Get rid of them. Say, not helicopters. Whatever is in your search you want out, you can say not. And guess what? This also works on Google. It does, and I'll be showing that to you later in one of the videos. So, the next thing that you'll be doing on this, you'll be doing a little quiz on truncation and phrase searching. Very brief, very fast. I want to make sure you understand the concepts. Then I want you to see this, and I think it's far better than anything I do, and I think it's only 3 to 4 minutes long. It's about citation searching and bibliographic mining. Kind of look at their point of view, and I will show you mine as well. I want you to be able to see that once you find an article, especially if it's in a database that shows that it's cited, like ProQuest and some of the EBSCO databases, see this one is cited by 17 sources, that you know how to get to those and know that those have value. If this article is something you're using, how it was used will also have value to you. And Also, the same article, I go into Google Scholar because I can see there what it's cited by. 17 turns to 58. So Google Scholar has a lot to offer you when you start doing your citation searching. And I'm so excited about it, I have put together my own video, which is under 5 minutes. I'm going to show you in this video how to go to the Google Scholar that I've set up for you to find things in full text. I bet you thought it wasn't useful, and yet it very much is. And I will also show you how to find references, or at least check them. They're not perfect, but you can copy and correct. And Google Scholar is composed of scholarly articles. So when you see that in your assignment, this is also a great place to go. Because you know what it does? It can search most of our databases all in one search. Oh, right there, you're feeling the excitement. But if you're not, just keep it in mind, and one day you'll find this very useful. I put you so that you can find our Google Scholar. If you use the one straight off the internet, it's not going to find the full text on it, just my link, and I show you how to find it there. So from there, I will need you to know how to use Google Advanced. Remember, I told you at the beginning, Google is a great product. There's different ways we can use it to maximize it for academic level research. Of course, Google Scholar is number one. Number two is Google Advanced Search. We can make a lot of different types of decisions. As part of your final project, I want you to find something that's a .org or .edu, and of course, separately, a .gov. You probably already have this when you were doing the CD search, if you're going to keep that. But these two you do not have. And here I'll give you a little bit of explanation of what they mean and what they stand for and why they're awesome in research. And this video will show you how to use them to great effect. This is one of those great ways to escape the echo chamber and also dig in deeper the Google search's big front page that everybody uses. This helps you get into the stuff that's a little bit harder to find. So it'll be very useful for you in research. And I also want to make sure you know how to find just a plain magazine article, not scholarly, not newspaper, just a plain secondary resource, a newspaper article about, a magazine article about your topic. To do that, I want you to use opposing viewpoints. And I have a little video here that will tell you exactly how to do that with no problem. And then you will wash up upon the assignment, which is very similar at this point. Make sure you use this document and fill in the spaces or copy and paste this assignment. This right here has to be a full sentence this week. Make it a full, complete sentence. Also, you're going to take the keywords you've already found and use truncation marks. Give me 3 that you could use truncation marks on and show me your work. Also, I want you to do a phrase search. There's probably a couple of things in your keywords. I've seen many this week. Show me how a phrase search would be set up. I do provide an example as well. And lastly, a Boolean logic search. These will be on the final project, so go ahead and get them done, and I'll make sure that they're correct and send you notations about it. So you'll have that portion of the final project pretty much done at this point because you have over 15 keywords. Now you just have to do these different things to them. So I'm going to go down further. You're going to be using Google Advanced Search. I have the video, follow it if you don't understand it, and you're going to find something. There's a .edu or a .org site. And again, look at the video if that doesn't make sense. And again, opposing viewpoints, I want you to use it to find a magazine. Not a scholarly article, a magazine article. So if you have any questions, go back to previous and you'll see the videos, or ask me. I look forward to seeing your work. I am being very entertained and excited by some of the things you guys are finding. So thank you very much for being in my class. You really are giving me a lot of inspiration.